Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio with an email from a listener named Rachel in Seattle who writes in and says, Tom, let me begin by saying I have been listening since I was in high school over 5 years ago. I love when women tell me they've been listening since they were in high school or junior high school or, in some cases, elementary school. The idea that in some way I'm helping to shape female minds. That's hot. Rachel says, I went to college and had the time of my life. Let me say that again, she says, the time of my life. I tried many things and learned a lot. I graduated with a semi-worthless communication degree. I got a suck-ass job, and then I met someone. He is finishing his master's degree in a field that will always pay very, very well. He can afford the lifestyle I want. We have now been together for several years, and we are nearing the marriage point. Long story short, you tell men to make money so they can afford a hot, sexy young thing. That is exactly what I am to my dear boyfriend. How do I know if I can do better? How do I know if I will be happy playing housewife and making babies and staying home? More than that, general guidance for women. We are done effing around. I love him, not nearly as much as he loves me. The reasons I love him are basic selfishness and the understanding that he can afford me. Will that be enough? Is his money and stability enough to make up for sometimes boring sex and nerdish conversation? I would love to hear your opinion on this. Tom's guidance for women after we've had fun and are tired of working. Saying I do to a man with money. It's Rachel in Seattle. Well, Rachel, let me talk to you first. Then we'll deal with everybody else. I generally advise men. And I'm an advocate for men. And I generally speak from the point of view of a man. As a woman asking me for advice, I could mislead you and send you down the wrong path. But I don't believe in doing that. You've asked me for advice, and I'm going to give it to you. And it's going to make some people uncomfortable. Here it is. Clearly, you will not be happy in the long term dealing with boring sex and nerdish conversation. Ultimately, you'll screw around on this guy. And making babies, well, you better hope he's making a lot of money because once you're bored, you will be looking for action elsewhere. My recommendation to you, darling, is to do this. If you want to have babies with this guy, and you want to have babies that look like this guy, and if you're prepared to stick your hand in his wallet for the next 18 to 25 years, what you do is marry him, have a baby or two, stick it out for about 5, 6, 7. If you could stick it out for 10, all the better. But at some point, you have in your business plan to get out, to take half of everything he's earned, because he'll never ask you to sign a prenup, the idiot. You can then take half of everything he earns during the time you're together. If you've got kids, you'll probably be able to take the house, so get him to buy a house, because you'll be able to take that away from him, or at the very least, force the sale of the house and take half of the equity for yourself. And then take what you've made, plus the annuity you'll be getting every month from him to cover the cost of those babies, and then go out and have some real fun. I do not think you can make a relationship like this work over the long term. But over the short term, you can pad your nest, you can pad your bank account, you can guarantee in the future you'll never have to work that hard, and you can take this guy for hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the reality. Pains me to say it, but that's the way the laws are. If guys are too stupid to get a prenup, if guys are stupid enough to agree to get married to you and have babies with you, well, then you can inflict them with the consequences. And I'm saying this as much to help you as I am to criticize the morons out there who don't even realize how many women like you there are, who simply are with these boring nerds just to get their money, to get in and get... Now, for me, I don't know if I'm a boring nerd. That's for you to decide. Obviously, nobody thinks they are. But I wouldn't marry you. I'd take a taste of the goods. I'd let you get close enough to smell my money. Yep, smells pretty good. Smells like money. But the minute you try to get your hands on my ATM card or get me to deposit some of my sperm into you, don't call it a sperm bank for nothing. Sperm are, indeed, little credit cards swimming around in there. The minute you started insisting on stuff like that or demanding commitment, that is when I would head for the hills. There's no way you would get your hands on my cashola. It would happen. It wouldn't happen. Period. If a guy is stupid enough to sign on for this program, you can take him for a ride. There are probably people who think I'm wrong for even saying that and who disagree, but it's the truth. There are women listening to me right now who are doing the same thing Rachel is doing. Getting involved with guys with money and marrying them, or they're engaged to them, or they will be baby machines for them just so they can get the cashola on the other side. Those of you marrying Poindexter, who's a good investor, who has a good IT job or a good executive position, or he's a doctor, Dr. Poindexter. There are girls like that listening right now who are in Rachel's position. And then there are guys who are clueless, who would never ask a woman to sign a prenup, who, if a woman put enough pressure, would certainly get married or have babies with chicks, not realizing that they're calculating and cold like Rachel. I'm not criticizing Rachel. You know what? That's how the laws are. You found some stupid, dopey Poindexter who's willing to hand over his wallet, let you have control, let you drive the bus. Well, Poindexter's going to pay. But does anybody disagree with what I'm saying here?
Tom.
Really?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I wish I had you years ago. You would have saved me a lot of grief.
That's what many women say. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Sean on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Do you care, Sean?
Yes, sir. You're my f***ing dad. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right. Well, I wanted to comment about what you were talking about. The same stuff happened to my dad. My mom decided to do the same thing, wanted to be with my dad for the money, everything's going good. She started getting bored. She started going around, sneaking out on him, and she took him to court, got everything, got everything she wanted, and he got messed up in the end. And he tried to get, she tried to take the kids from him and get like $2,000 for child support payments, and instead he got us instead. And they didn't get, and then they charged her for no child support to charge my dad.
Really?
Yeah, and it was wrong. And I just want to tell all the guys out there, you got to watch out, man. You need a prenup because they're just going to ruin your life, and it ruined me. But you know what? It made me stronger in the long run because I got to know how to be a man and not let stupid bitches do that.
Well, you got to watch your mouth when you're on the air, of course, as you know.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, well, that's why I'm doing this show. I want guys to know Rachel's being very honest, and I appreciate that, and I gave her advice that I think is reasonable. You can take some guy to the cleaners, and this guy is not going to demand that she sign a prenup, not going to make any demands at all. He thinks she loves him, and she just wants his money. That's it. Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Julie.
Hey, Tom. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay. I'm calling because I'm in a similar situation with like this girl, except 5 years later. And a little different because, I married my husband now for, not exactly for money, because, you know, I'm just as independent and I make just as much money as he is. So not exactly, you know, that's not exactly what I was looking for. But I'm from India and really looking for emotional security somehow. You know, I felt like he's a stable guy, you know, very Indian, where he's never going to leave me, and, you know, just kind of, I was kind of sick of all the breaking relationships and stuff, and married him for all those reasons. Really never was very much, I mean, he was a good friend of mine, but never really in love with him, never attracted to him, very much like, you know, and this girl is telling already that she, you know, if she's already giving these signs, I'm just telling her up front that if she already sees these things, which I did too 5 years ago, but I thought this wasn't that important, but, you know, these are all red flags. If she already thinks that, you know, he's not exciting enough for her, and it's not going to last. It's, you know, one reason or the other things will come up, and it's not good for the children either. And once she has children, she's going to have to make compromise. I mean, I have a daughter now, and I'm debating on what I'm supposed to do, because I feel like, you know, just because, and he's still a nice guy, and you know, it's just that it's kind of boring, the relationship, and being the very Indian girl, it's very hard for me to think of, you know, breaking marriage on this ground, and I think I'm going to break it, and I'm very close, but when she already has all these red flags, don't do.
I think we lost you. You still there, Julie? Okay. Wow. Anyway, another one who did it. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Carmela on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Carmela.
It's such a pleasure to speak to you.
As well it should be, dear.
Listen, the reason why I'm calling is because I am in the exact same situation that you're describing. My honey is 40. He works for a tile company, and I'm 20. And his first girlfriend, she screwed him over. She got pregnant, and the baby ended up not being his. So, I'm Sicilian, and I possess all these qualities that these American women don't, and he loves that about me. He absolutely loves it about me. So, you know, here I am just sugaring him up, and the guy wants to marry me. I'm 20, he wants to marry me, and I'm thinking, you know, should I go for it? I mean,
it depends. Do you want to take him to the clinic? He's a dumbass. You want to know if you should marry a dumbass.
Tom, I'm going to screw him over, and I'm going to take his money. The guy wants kids. Sure, fine. In fact, the other day, we were talking about adopting kids. I told him, honey, we should adopt half of Africa. He said, no, let's try to squeeze 3 kids out of that body of yours first. And I said, well, what if we can't? Okay, then we'll do whatever you want, as long as you're under or on top of me. I said, great, thanks.
Wow. And you're willing to have a relationship like that to get the man's money. And by the way, I'm not even criticizing you. You're capable of doing it. And any guy stupid enough to let you do it, it's like somebody leaves the door to the vault open. Anybody's going to walk in and start grabbing. And that's what you're doing.
Exactly, and I even told him about you. And he said, I told him, you need to listen to Tom. I've told him your rules and your take on dating. And he said, well, is that the guy who says that don't spend any money? I said, yes. Well, then I guess I'm a pussy. He admits that he's a pussy, Tom.
Oh, he is a pussy.
God, but I'm going to have that pussy.
You're not only going to take his money, you're going to have sex with other guys while you're doing it.
Oh, you know it. I want me a Colombian guy.
Oh, and a Colombian guy? Why do you need cocaine? Why do you need a Colombian guy?
No, I saw one the other day. They're hot. But I went on a trip last month, all expenses paid by him. And I didn't even go with him. I went with friends.
Where did he send you?
I went to Miami to visit some friends for the summer.
That's where you got into the Colombian guys. Because that's where most of them are. So did you do a Colombian guy when you were in Miami? You can tell me, dear.
Not yet, but it's going to happen.
But you've zeroed in on someone.
Something like that.
Something like that?
I'm going to Spain next summer, and it is all on him. And it's going to be without him. But
really?
I'm going to spend with friends. yeah, we're going to stay.
And can you tell me why he's obsessed with sending you places and paying for it without him going?
Because he thinks that soon enough, he's the one who's going to be going with me. In fact, when I was in Miami with my friends, he said, well, next time you go to Miami, can I go with you? That way you can introduce me to your friends.
Oh, yeah.
I said, we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah, your friends Carlos and Hector, the whole group. You'll be introducing them to everybody.
I love it, but I'm going to squeeze as much juice as I can of this.
No doubt. Well, dear, I hope you'll let me put my handprint on your ass while you're doing this. I certainly want to get a piece of that.
I certainly want to go to your boys' night out, but I'll have to wait for your next event at Camacho's.
You might have to meet us outside.
I think I may.
In the back alley.
Indeed. I love you, Tom. Can you take me out Kobe style?
Here you go, Carmela.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're a beat to my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Matt on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing okay, Matt.
Good to hear. I just had one quick question for you. You're telling Rachel to become a single mother, or to have kids, and then she's going to get divorced and become a single mother, right?
And take this guy to the cleaners. Because she can.
But at the same time, the second she becomes a single mother, no Leykis student is going to want to have fun with her.
But Leykis students are only at most 10% of the population. I mean, there's people right now listening to a bigger mix and a better variety, or there's people right now listening to, a six-pack of Led Zeppelin or something. There's a lot of other guys out there. And a lot of them are suckers like the guy she's dating right now.
So she'll just go from one sucker to the next?
Of course. Beautiful. Like any other scam artist.
That's all I wanted to know. Take me out old school, please.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Stephen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 I was calling. I'm kind of in the opposite perspective. I'm married and I have kids. I was wondering what a guy could do to protect himself from a woman like that, or because I've seen a lot of red flags, and I'm afraid if I do split up with my wife, what I should do. I don't know.
Well, first of all, you made one mistake. You didn't demand a prenuptial agreement.
Exactly.
I don't know why you did that, because you're a moron.
Apparently.
Right?
Right.
I mean, so right there you screwed yourself. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 3 children.
You screwed yourself 3 more times.
Yeah.
Because now she's going to have her hand in your wallet till your 50th birthday, probably.
Right. So what? There's nothing I can do to protect myself.
Well, pal, why? That would be like if I drive my Lexus around town. I've got my LS430, and that's a $70,000 car, and I tool around. If I drove my car down to the hood to pick up a Slurpee at the 7-Eleven, and I left the engine running and the door open, and I walk into 7-Eleven, when I come out, the car is gone. What I do? Go back into the 7-Eleven going, what can I do to keep my car from getting stolen? It's gone! You left the car door open with the engine running.
Yep.
I mean, the best advice I can give you is the longer you're with her, the more vagina money you'll ultimately have to pay.
Right.
So if you think you're going to be getting out, you have to get out as fast as you can.
Right.
Every 2 days you stay, you owe her another day of money. Do you understand that? You're in California. Yeah. The formula for vagina money is every 2 days you're with her, you have to pay her for another day. You understand that?
Would you say it's better for me or her to file for a divorce typically?
It doesn't really matter in terms of paying. Just get a good attorney. But again, you're so rude because you have to pay child support on 3 kids. How long have you been married?
6 years.
So that's 3 years of vaginamony if you leave today, which you won't.
Right. Huh. I was hoping you'd have a little better
How?
help on me, but I'm...
You know, that's like saying your house just burned down and you're saying to me, you know what, should I not play with matches? What should I do? Pal, you burned the house down already.
All right, Tom, blow me up.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is your telephone number. Sasha on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes.
Hey, these people are foul, Tom.
This is the world I always tell you about, dear.
I'm telling you, making children on purpose to use them as a pawn against someone else, it's disgusting. I think that she's foul. The other people who think that they're in the same situation are foul. And she ought to be ashamed of herself. And blow me up, man.
Here you go.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
You want to hear my favorite lunch?
What's that?
It's a can of tuna fish with a pickle and a couple of saltines.
Really?
Yeah.
When I hear about tuna fish and a pickle, I get other images.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Wow, we are less than 3 weeks away. I'm getting goosebumps. We're less than 3 weeks away from the one-night-only performance of Boys Night Out at the legendary, historic, world-famous Paramount Theater in Seattle. It's Friday night, September 30th at 8:30 p.m. I'm your MC. I'm the producer of this event. Bobby Slayton is our headliner. It's outrageous. You've heard people talk about it. This show's sold out. L.A.'s Wiltern Theater back in June. And it's the same concept, baby. 3 over-the-top comedians saying stuff we could never say on the air. It's an offshoot of this radio program. It's the stuff we talk about here all the time. I'm going to say stuff that would get me fired. And believe me, I get a lot of latitude here. This is the kind of stuff that I could never, ever get away with on this radio station you're listening to right now or any radio station. Believe me. And best of all, there will be no chicks in the audience to pinch or twist your arm. Or you have a perfect excuse to get out because we're just telling everybody, no chicks. It's just guys. Get your tickets now. You call Ticketmaster at this number, 206-529-4051. 206-529-4051. If you can't remember the number, just go to Ticketmaster.com and look for Boys Night Out or Tom Leykis. Or you can go to our website, blowmeuptom.com. You can get tickets there. It's that simple. It's Boys Night Out, Friday, September 30th, 8:30 p.m. at the world-famous Paramount Theater. And by the way, tomorrow we have an announcement about Boys Night Out coming to the Inland Empire. If you live in the Inland Empire, we have never even done a listener party in the Inland Empire. Boys Night Out is coming to the Inland Empire in October. Now, if you'd like to be there, you'll be listening tomorrow to the Tom Leykis Show for all the details. The people who get the first tickets get the best seats. So be listening tomorrow, and we'll announce how you can get tickets to see Boys Night Out in the Inland Empire coming up in October. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We started off with an email from a listener named Rachel in Seattle who's about to marry some guy who's a nerd. He's a geek, but he's studying for a degree. He's going to make a lot of money. And she wonders, well, will this be enough? I won't be able to have conversation with this guy. He's a nerd, whatever. And it's like, hey, the way the laws are, if he's too stupid or in love to get you to sign a prenup, you can take this guy to the cleaners, have a couple of kids with him, take half of everything he's got, get him to buy a house. Then take it away from him so your kids will have a place to live. They'll need a place to live. You just put your little feet up there, and then you'll have money for nannies. You'll have money for clothes. You can find the next sucker. That's pretty much the way the system works. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Peter on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's up, Tom?
Not much, Peter.
All right. So, I'm 21, and my parents, they were off and on when I was 5. And my father wanted to get a divorce, but my mother sort of refused to sign the papers she basically put it off for about 15 years. So my father wanted to get married when I was about 16, 17, and then my mother finally signed the paper. In between this time, my father had put together a charter bus business, and he was worth a good couple $1 million, and this is in San Francisco. And my mother noticed this, and I guess she finally decided, oh, okay, I can get a divorce now, and then I can basically sue him for spousal and for child support. And so she did it. Basically, they were taking money out of every single account that he had on his name, which was joint accounts with my name on it, joint accounts with my stepmom's name on it, and then the bus business. And so my mom almost got almost everything he had, man. And my stepmom was getting pissed off at the same time. And so she sued my father. She got a divorce and then sued my father at the same time. Took his house, the business, everything. He left with nothing. He had to move to L.A. I had to come and support him.
Unbelievable. So did he learn his lesson?
Oh, believe me, man. He learned his lesson. I mean, he's been talking the way you've been talking in our entire life. He just never knew that it could, excuse my French, it could never happen to him.
Yeah, and it did.
Oh, yeah. And, the one thing I see it mainly coming from is a lot of women that come from Europe and they learn the American way. They're a little more aggressive on the entire part of suing after a divorce and getting what the husband has made.
Sure they are. Women love to talk about romance before they get married. I can't sign a prenup. It wouldn't be romantic.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would ask me to sign something like this. Why, you don't trust me? Well, you find out how much you can trust them when the whole relationship is over and they hire an attorney and they kick your ass.
Exactly. I had a question.
Yes.
Now, what if I don't want to have a wife, obviously, ever in my life now. That this happened to my father. But now what if I wanted to have kids with a woman? Now, what papers do I need to sign so I don't need to pay up anything for her and just take care of the kid or have the kid in my custody?
You can get someone to waive spousal support in a prenup, and that's something you need to talk to an attorney about. But child support, you're stuck for that. There's nothing you can sign.
All right.
You can sign whatever you want. It won't be enforceable. If she decides down the line she wants money from you, that's that.
All right. So if anything, maybe if I took the steps of maybe taking custody of the children or child, whatever I have.
You would have to take custody, and then you'll have to take care of those kids, including when you're working or traveling or whatever you're doing.
Of course. All right. Just a question. I want kids. I don't want to have a wife. You know what I mean?
Well, pal, you know what? If you don't want to have a wife or you don't want to have a family, you really shouldn't be having kids. You really shouldn't be having kids.
I grew up just fine without a mother, man.
Well, people love to say that, but I'm telling you, you're much better off in a situation where you've got everybody together. And if you can't find anybody to marry, why would you even want to take a chance on getting into one of these wacky situations where a woman can hire an attorney and make your life miserable?
True. All right, Tom.
All right?
Take me out Kobe style, man.
Kobe style. Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're the beats in my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How you doing? Actually, I shouldn't announce. I know you're doing just fine.
Of course you do.
You're not a guy I have to worry about.
No.
One of the things these married guys might be able to do is relocate to a state that doesn't allow vagina money.
What states are those?
Well, like in the state of Washington, where I got a divorce, they only allow a year's spousal support.
Under any circumstances?
Under the circumstances that I was in at the time that I got a divorce.
Oh, how long were you married?
Me, I was married for 5 years.
All right. Well, you know what? I mean, there's not that much difference. In California, you'd pay 2.5 years after 5 years.
Okay, I'm not sure, but the state of Washington only allows 1 year of spousal
Even if you're married for 20 years, I doubt it.
Yes. Yeah.
Doubt that. I doubt. There's an attorney out there who can answer that question. I think you're wrong.
That's very possible, but under the circumstances I was in, it's possible that some of these guys might be able to,
Why would you want to even experiment with that?
It's something that was a question I was kind of posing, is that those were my circumstances, and I thought maybe in some of these states where the alimony issue is...
It doesn't matter where you get married. It matters where you get divorced.
Right. So if you're in a state where the alimony issue is really difficult, move to a state that doesn't allow it.
Yeah, but then you always... by the way, you had it easy. There's always a debate when you get divorced as to in which state you're going to get divorced.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, your wife could move to a state like California or New York where the courts are brutal, and then to say, screw you, I want to change your venue. And you never... This is really playing Russian roulette. I don't know why anyone would do that.
Well, you know...
How about you just not get married? How about you not get married without a prenup? How about you not get married without having your potential spouse sign a waiver of spousal support?
Hey, this is strictly for the guys that are already screwed. It's kind of a Hail Mary sort of thing. You might be
right. I understand what you're saying, but again, that's something you should talk over with an attorney.
Yeah.
And there's questionable legality there, because if you're doing that just to avoid paying, I'm sure the way the system is set up, they're going to make it really difficult for you. But of course, you should always ask your attorney, is there any way I can pay less, including moving to another state? You should ask. Maybe you can form one of those Las Vegas corporations for only $395.
Divorce corporation.
Exactly.
I got really lucky. First of all, my ex-wife died of cancer 2 years after we got a divorce. So
she got lucky.
Oh my God, I got so lucky.
She died.
She died of cancer.
She died of cancer.
Wife too.
She was vicious, and she got what she deserved.
Absolutely. I have another question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have time, but at what age do you sort of flip over from doing, younger to older women because of the easy access to the younger, hotter chicks?
Well, as soon as you get your career together, or look like you've got your career together. But at 19, 20, 21, you don't.
Absolutely, yeah. And I took that advice, and it worked out really well. But, I'm 39 now.
Right. What do you do for a living?
Me? I'm a lab technician.
Well, very good. Does that pay well? Is that a six-figure income?
I'm the owner of the lab, and because of your advice, a number of years ago, I kicked my girlfriend out of my house that I supported. I quit my job. I opened my own business. And I did this, I implemented that plan within 3 months of starting to listen to your show.
Make sure your business card says that you're the president of the company.
It does.
It probably has 3 employees, but put that on there.
I went from $40,000 a year, being the nice guy, hoping things will get better, to making, $140,000 a year, and pretty much making sure I was well taken care of.
That is my boy. I am so proud. It's the Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. And I believe we have Rachel on the line who wrote this email that got this whole conversation started. Rachel.
Hey, Tom.
How's it going?
Good.
So you've been hearing what everybody is saying about this?
Well, actually, I just got off work about a half hour ago, and it was like a dream. I got in my truck, and I was like, holy... Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
I need to know what you think.
Well, I told you you were not listening, but I said at the beginning of this hour that, look, normally I advise guys, but I'm not going to mislead you. You asked me for the advice. I'm going to tell you that if Poindexter is too dopey to ask for a prenup, he's too much in love, then the best thing to do is take him to the cleaners. Have a couple of little crumb crunchers, get them to buy a house to house them. And the way the laws work, ultimately you can divorce them and take the house from them, so the kids will have a place to live.
And you think that's the best decision for someone my age who's a loving Tom Leykis listener?
Well, you should certainly not wait too late to cash your chips in there, because then you pass the expiration date. And that would not be a good thing for you. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.